But how about we get into the Ask Yo AunTeas? You know, we want to get your perspective on this question. So what time is it?
Ask
your
aunties.
All right, I have it up here. It says, "Hey aunties, I have a question about hygiene. If you are on a date and you see that he doesn't clip his fingernails or his nails are dirty, what do you do? Call it out? Sit with it? I struggle with dudes who have dirty fingernails, toenails, and bad breath. Is this being too picky or is it just gross?"
The image in my head, but let's have the guests go first.
Do you want to go first, Tom?
So I don't know. I'm thinking about what's the benefit of calling it out? I mean, you could just, okay, this isn't going well and end it and go. They may never know why it didn't work out. But if it's not your thing, if you're saying I struggle with it, then it's not going to be for you. So if you really like this guy, you've got to tell him. But otherwise, I think you just call it and go home.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm
not confrontational though, so that's me.
So I am kind of confrontational because sometimes you got to pop off, right?
Right.
Okay, water. Onto water.
Versatile water.
This water is not room temperature, okay? Water is hot.
Yeah. So sometimes my boiling point just
Exactly.
it gets there. But I feel like even then I probably wouldn't call it out because, like Todd said, there's no benefit. But to answer their question, it is gross because hygiene. Also, like as gay men, fingers end up places, and you don't want to cut up that said place with some talons.
Yeah, that's a true statement. What you thinking, Henny?
Oh, I don't know. I think I'd probably say the same thing. Like, unless I was really into the person, I wouldn't say anything. I'm just like, I don't care. I would have just ate my meal, take my drink, and then just be like, deuces, because then I'll just be sitting there, like, I would just go down the rabbit hole, like, how did them nails get so dirty? What are you doing? Oh my God, did you just shake my hand? Oh my God, your hands are dirty. Ew, what's going on? Like, I would just like spiral out of control trying to figure out how long that dirt has been there and what's going on. And then especially if you got bad breath, like you ain't kissing. No, ma'am, no. Like, especially after COVID, like you smell your breath. Like, you should know. You're like constantly doing it
with that mask on,
right? What you
burning
are constantly doing
a
breath check. Like you're doing a breath check every time you put on the mask. So I just think that person's too lazy for me. Now I didn't judge them. Now they lazy. They're not putting effort in their life. I mean, they ain't putting effort in the relationship. Yeah, that's a no for me.
What do you think of Dawon?
Yeah, I kind of agree. It's a little bit of a turnoff, especially just given the context. Like, this is not just a hookup where like you've been texting and it's like, okay, I'm coming over right now, or I'm driving down your street. Let me just pop on over. I'm just coming straight from work. Because some people like that, dirty, grimy, kind of like sex or whatever, or musky fingers or whatever, but. In the context of this is a date, that to me says there was like planning involved. There was a setup. You knew what was going to happen, and I would imagine the potentiality of a little bit of something happen on after the little eatery. So I don't think I think it's in poor taste to call somebody out about their hygiene or whatever. I also know that some people prefer their fingernail length to be different sizes, and some people like them long, some people like them short. I like mine super, super short. Like, I really don't want to see any of the white part. So just, trim that all the way down, but that's just me. The dirty part, that just, like in the spirit of COVID, when you're supposed to be washing your hands all the time and, like putting on the antibacterial, like it's one of those things where you can't even like not notice that you've got crustolias, you know, and dingleberries
These
on,
words.
you know, on your fingernails. I'm sorry. So it, you know, would I be rude? No. Would it also kind of depends on how hot the person is and how sexually attracted I am to them. Because I might just take them, I might just not real talk, you know, like they may just be fine and they may work at a, you know, like a I don't know, like a auto shop or what, an auto body or whatever, you know, and it might be one of those situations like, okay, baby, let's come on back to my place. Let me wash your hands first.
Right.
You're gonna start in the shower.
Or let me get these handcuffs up.
Oh, so they ain't touching you at all.
They ain't touching nothing.
I'm just flip flopping at this point.
Hear
What
me
do you think,
out.
Jerrell?
No, I agree. Like I here's the thing. We've all at points in time have had dirty nails, bad breath, this and that. But in this certain case, you're on a date. So I agree with you, Dawon. It's just like you knew you were going on a date. Like, so prepare accordingly. Like, at least wash your damn hands. Like, you know?
It also begs the question, what else didn't they clean?
Ooh.
Oh,
Exactly. You judging the whole life at that point. You're like, oh, they don't got it together.
Yeah,
It's just your
right.
fingernails.
But then again, like if you like the musk smell and things like that, maybe it turns you on. I don't know. But for me in my house,
so let me ask you this:
with your ministry,
right? With my ministry,
is it worse if you're on a date and that's what you find, or a hookup? Which
I
is
think
worse?
on a date?
yeah,
I think a hookup.
Oh,
I
you think it's
it's
worse
a
on a
hookup. I think it's worse on a hookup.
Because then you don't get an opportunity to say, clean yourself up. It is what it is.
Right,
There's not
exactly.
another
And then
chance.
and then you have to say something as you're escorting them out. Like, oh, actually, you don't cross the threshold because I just peeped your fingertips. Your breath stank. You gotta go. Like, at least on a date, you can play it off. You know, you got the other side of the table. You can just, you know, like you can
say your
work with the
stomach hurts,
situation.
you can,
Right. You, yeah.
Ooh,
You
I got
got
like
about
bubbles.
kissing
This is
them.
not-
Because I'm just thinking, like, how many times though in a hookup situation have you been like, hold on, let me look at your nails? You're probably already in the situation before you realize it.
Let me tell you, like Ryan said, if they're too damn long, you scratching shit. I didn't look. I didn't
That
donkey
part.
kick the
Hold
person once
on, wait a
before
minute.
being
We
see,
can't take
mm-mm.
body count number 6 over here as advice when it comes to the hookups.
Hey, let me tell you, that fingernail still was not okay. Okay, so had to be known. Had to be known. Ain't nothing cute about a finger going in with a long ass nail. That shit ain't comfortable. It ain't cute.
I do feel the only
Gotta
thing I
have that
feel with,
conversation.
and I want to kick it back to you guys, but I do kind of feel like in a hookup situation, those are oftentimes random, right? So, and depending on what you're into, you know, like and the kind of penetration and sexual activity that you're into, it may or may not make a difference one way or another, you know, like those kinds of things. So, you know, like again, back in the day, being on Grindr, driving home from work, from Schaumburg back to downtown Chicago, got 30 minutes to figure out what's up. I worked all day. I may work in the office, but you know what I mean? Like, don't have time to go home.
No, I don't know what you mean. Wait till you get back home, then get your ass on Grindr. After you get prepped and put out the work.
I'm with Dawon on that one.
No,
again,
that's a top mentality. That's a top mentality. Let me tell you, if I'm gonna sit there and I'm a douche and I'm gonna put in the effort to give you what you want, oh, you best believe them. They better be bounce fresh, okay, bitch? I better see the driest sheet as you walk through the motherfucking door in between them balls, okay? I ain't putting that effort just for you to be, it's just a hoe. Nah, bitch, this is some grade A hoe, okay? Thank you very much.
You said, where that snuggle at?
Okay, look, that's enough for me.
She said, where?
That's funny.
So hear me out here, guys. So you're on the date with this guy. He has like some stupid long fingers. Let's play the long game here. Let's date him. Let's take him out on more dates. Let's become official. And then when you get him in your own bed, like maybe 10 more dates in, you're official. when he's sleeping, just clip his nails. Maybe like brush his teeth while he's sleeping. And
is this a guy or a dog?
That's what I was thinking.
Give him some peanut butter. Give him some peanut butter. Like,
and
Come
then
here, boy. Come here, boy.
and then in the morning you just leave and you're like, sorry, I just had to fix that. Bye.
Ryan's apparently into fixer-uppers. I'm surprised you bought a brand new house.
I mean, look, you lost me after 10 days. I said, oh, that's a lot of work.
No, you get 2 dates. That's all. Like,
thank you.
I have a 2-date rule. Everybody gets a second date, but there's no guarantees beyond that.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a second date.
Because the first one could just be like
A fluke.
nerves,
A bad day.
any number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I try to do that too. I mean, I don't think
I had that rule. I'm like, if I ain't feeling it, oh no, it's time for me to hop back on this app.
I mean, you ain't never like had so much in common with someone, but then the connection was off.
Sitting there on the L, like, okay, who's next?
You apparently live in a larger city than us.
That is true. I have lived in some larger cities over time, so that is very, very true.
I wonder if a circumstance like this, like imagine if this was you, this happened to you, right? And however it is that you dealt with it, I just wonder if that creates a trauma for you. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you then look at everybody's fingernails from that point on? Like, you might have never really looked at somebody's, like fingernails or whatever, but when this happened, does that create trauma? That then all of a sudden every person you be zooming in on their pictures, like looking at their fingers,
It must be. Like, I don't think I ever, like, I don't, like, because I'm not a germaphobe, but like, you're gonna wash your hands, at minimum. So it's just like, but thinking back, I don't know if I ever truly looked, like, say Corey, like now my husband, I don't know at the time if I truly looked at his fingernails. I think like you could tell by the way maybe someone's dressed, the way they came in and things like that, a little more than just like the fine details, like, oh, let me see your hand, let me look, But I think over time, you can potentially tell if someone's hygiene is up to par, whether it be you're hooking up with them or you go to their place and it's not as clean as you may want it and things like that. I think I see that more than the fingernails, but I do need you to wash your hands. So it's just, and maybe that's just like almost a common thing. It's just like, I assume you're going to wash your hands. But maybe that's not a good assumption.
You nice, because I pay attention to hygiene. I look from toes on up. Be like, okay, all right. Just saying.
Have you two stopped a date because of hygiene, or stopped? Has that been the reason why you haven't gone to date 3?
There's that one time that you were with the hoarder.
Oh yeah.
Spill it.
Well, I didn't get in the door. Like
literally.
I mean, I knew it was a problem when I got there, and he stuck his head out the door and didn't open the door. And I thought, okay, this is odd. And he said, I just moved in, so I'm going to step back and close the door, and then you open it and come in because I've got all these boxes. And I thought, and so he stepped back, I opened the door, and it was floor to ceiling, and there was I just moved in. Like it was hoarder with paths through it. So I just closed the door and ran right on back to the car and hit block and kept on moving. Like I didn't go in there.
I would have kept pushing too.
Oh my, yeah, that's a bit much. That's the line for real. Yeah. That's the line for me.
Absolutely.
I have a problem with commitment and like the opposite of what you think. So when I commit to something, I do it no matter what. Like, so I've been on dates where I'm like, I fucking promised this guy that I'm going to go on a date with it, but I'm not feeling it anymore. So I push myself because like we've all been on the other side of that, like someone canceling on us.
That's true.
And I get in my head, like, I don't want to be that guy for someone, even if nothing happens with us. Like, I don't want to be the person who could fuck with their psyche. So I just always commit.
So I think there needs to be an app where you rate your dates, and everyone has to be on it. And so what you do is when the date's over, you fill it out, and then the other person can see how people.
So you got an Uber rating?
It's a Yelp. It's a Yelp review for your. It's a Yelp review for your date.
And I would have appreciated that. Like after some dates, I wanted to know, but I mean, I think it would be a good thing.
Ooh, that sounds
I
like
see it being messy.
That sounds
what
like
if
Black
you like
Mirror.
turn the person down? Like, what if you were like, I'm not into them, all of a sudden they get mad at you and they're like, I'm gonna give this person a bad review for their date.
But you got to be diplomatic about it then, I guess. I don't know.
You're very trusting, boo, because you know the way social media they be out here trying to cancel people, tear people down.
True.
Ooh.
Especially in the gay culture, bitches be petty.
I just thought of a one that I should have definitely just kept going. So this one time, it was like a year or two ago. I was just like super fucking horny, and I was like, I just need some dick. So
Dick 30.
Right. So I met up with this guy, right? And he's like, hey, can you meet me here? And I'm like, sure. And then I get to the address and it's like a rundown house. And I was like, oh, this is a no for me. And I was like, where are you? I'm here. And he's like, oh, I'm outside. I'm walking up. And I was like, this is super sketch. I'm probably going to die. So I think I sent the address to one of my friends, but like me being who I am, I'm like, I'm still going to commit. I'm also still horny.
It's like that dick picture got me. That dick picture got me.
So
been there.
He was like, oh, can we drive somewhere? I'm like, the fuck? You don't okay. So many red flags, but still I'm going through it. So I pick him up in my car. He's in the passenger seat. And then upon further inspection, I'm like, oh, you have like meth teeth, which is none. And I was like, oh, this is a super red flag. But now I'm like, I'm in it. So I have to get done with this. So I was like, I was going through it. And I was like, can you please just finish? Like, I'm done. I want to go. And he was like, I don't think it's going to happen. Can we go to this like gas station down the road? I have to get something. And I was like, oh God, you know what? I need to start canceling on people. And then, eventually I tried to finish him off and it still wasn't happening. Who fucking knows what was going on with him?
Wait, okay, hold on.
There's a lot to unpack.
There's too
Girl,
much to
I was sitting
here. First, continue to send your SUSC questions to aya@minorityareport.com or DM us. B, was the dick that good that you were that committed?
No, that's just who I am. I want to commit until it's done. I don't know why, some kind of mental thing, but
then C, since he couldn't get off, is it still traumatizing you today? Be like, damn, I did not get him off.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty like nonchalant. Like nothing really affects me.
Okay, that's interesting. That's a lot.
This is not one of Ryan's better moments, I'll just say.
Yeah.
Wait, this is one of the better moments?
No, he said it was not.
Oh, I was like,
I mean, I've had some moments in the past. Like, I remember this. Oh, God, here we go. I don't have to share this, but I'm going to. I remember, like, this is my Indiana days. So, like, so there were times where I did live in small town America where it was, like, slim pickings. And, like, we had an episode where you print that map quest off and... before the apps and shit,
wow.
you know?
Yeah.
You remember that, printing map quest and driving like 30 fucking minutes for some ass and dick.
We had a whole conversation about that.
But I remember I showed up to this guy's place and he didn't look like his picture as much. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Even though it was pre-COVID, maybe he got that COVID weight or something like that. I fluctuate too. It is what it is. So I get in there and it's just like that awkward energy. You're just like, okay, this is gonna be weird. And so he didn't want to like fuck. He wanted to like he wanted to like grind his dick against like my chest until like he came. And I'm like laying there like and it was like one of those moments you're just like, I don't know what to do. It's like, I'm here. So do I just like jerk off to it, get off? It is what it is. But I didn't even get off. I was like, this is so fucking odd. And not what we talk about on this app. Or
experience like
I think it was Adam for Adam at that time. That I was like, oh my. And I remember to this day, this was probably like 15 years ago.
You should have
And-
reached over and grabbed the remote control and turned the TV on.
See, it was so awkward. But again, it's like one of those moments you're like, well, I'm in the house, like I'm here, like I guess I would go through with it. But I
Yeah.
learned from that one that I was like, next time if I don't get that good vibe, that energy, the second I'm in
Yeah.
there, it might not go down.
And conversation communication is really the key, you know, because I imagine after a situation like that, when it comes to like hookups, your conversation got a little bit different. Like, well, what are you into?
Literally.
Let's clarify up front before I make the trip.
Before I like spend
Well,
my
wait
good
for
gas
you.
money, before I like
Right.
use my printer ink for this piece of paper and everything,
Wow.
and drive my ass 30 minutes for this bullshit.
Don't you
Oh
think
my
some of that is
God.
being young?
For sure. For sure.
Like
Yeah.
I would imagine. I'm going to try to help redeem Ryan a little bit. I would imagine he wouldn't do that again. Like he probably learned from it.
Probably.
Yeah, I think it's when you're young.
It's the probably for me. You
Like,
can see the process. Thought about it for a second.
Well,
Yeah,
okay.
you know.
I mean, I definitely did learn from that. Because now I require more information before.
And more teeth.
Yeah. It's the no teeth for me.
Oh my God, that is too funny. But yeah, definitely that was a young, at least, moment for me too. Because it's just like, especially I was still in the closet at that point. So you're just like, oh, I just want to get off and this and that. But that's when I realized I was like, there's some weird shit going on. And this part of the weirdness ain't for me. Some other weird
Yeah.
shit. Okay, I'm here for
So
it.
you've got somebody asking a question about fingernails, and we're talking about somebody with no teeth. So that's a
Yeah,
whole other level
That's
right
a
there.
whole nother level. Oh my God. But yes, continue to send your questions to AYA@minorityReport.com or DM us. We enjoy these questions.